everyone, and welcome back to Break Time Conversations, a YouTube channel where I have conversations around education. I have been in the field of education almost all of my life, and along my journey, I have met so many interesting and inspiring people. And so I decided to document my conversations with them here so that you too can hear their stories and the amazing work that they do. I'm here today with Drishti Goenka. She's the founder of Journey Matters. And Journey Matters is a learning design venture. They design and manufacture social and emotional learning tools for children. And I happen to get my hands on a set of social and emotional learning flashcards for preschool children. And they're beautiful. They're so beautiful, Drishti. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Anupa. Thank you so much.
So, out of curiosity, I just wanted to know, especially after I saw those beautiful flashcards, how did you get started and start doing what you're doing today?
I'll tell you how I started Journey Matters. And I've been in the field of mental health and education for over 8 years now. And I've been working in different capacities. So I've worked as a teacher, I've worked as a counselor, I've worked as an SEL educator. So I have different hats that I kind of adorn while I was at different educational institutions. So one of the biggest experiences that I had was when I joined a local, it's headquartered here in Hyderabad, but they have junior colleges and schools all over the country. I joined that organization and as their first hire for a student wellness department. And they've been in the business for 40 years now, and unfortunately known in the market for a high rate of student suicide. And they finally kind of came to their senses and said, you know what, I think we've got to do something for our students. And I was their first hire. And here I had maybe 60, 70 odd colleges in front of me and lakhs of students, and I need to cater to these students. At that time, I didn't know about social emotional learning as the science that it is now. But I kind of, when we went around to all the schools and colleges and we spoke to people, we spoke to students, we realized that, why don't we design a program where we take in, smaller groups of students and we design these really fun hands-on activities, all theme-based. So the theme that we chose was resilience for them. They were junior college students, and we designed a whole program for them for a year. It was a year-long program that we designed. And during my research, I stumbled upon social emotional learning. And this was 4.5 years ago. I'm like, there is something called a social emotional learning. And so I went and I got trained in it. I got trained in guidance curriculum, which is used more for international schools. But, there are so many things that we can take from there and apply to, our curriculums for schools here. And that's how I was introduced to social emotional learning. And then that's what I did from then on. Post that experience, I reached a little bit of a burnout because I felt like, I think I need a little change of pace. And then I joined another school and I was working purely with early childhood and elementary, and enjoyed my time with them, designed a social emotional learning curriculum for them. So it's just something that it comes very naturally to me, very organically, and I enjoy it. I enjoy designing activities. I enjoy facilitating those sessions with students and teachers as well. So yeah, that's where my relationship with SEL kind of began.
That's amazing. I was just going to say that, when you said that you've been in the field for 8 years now, because SEL is a fairly new term. So I was wondering how you knew about it for 8 years. And then you mentioned that you came across it a little while later. And I also resonate with you when you say that you love the early years, because I'm an early years educator. That's my original training. And I know how beautiful it is. And I think it's lovely that you've actually developed a tool for children as young as 2 and 3 and 4, because I find that especially in the Indian education system, the early years are totally ignored, right? They just think that, okay, twinkle, twinkle, little star, A, B, C, D, and that's about it. We'll do
One, two,
everything
three.
later.
That's it.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, how have people taken to this when you actually promote, that you want to start talking about social and emotional learning for such young kids? Have you to face any challenges or anything like that?
Initially when I kind of distributed my concept for, concept proofing, let's see how people are responding to just the concept. Like nobody had seen designs, nobody had seen the content, nothing. And at that time, I didn't have a very concrete idea of how the product would eventually look like, right? I just had the concept in mind. I had quite mixed reactions, especially from parents saying, I don't even know if I want to introduce these big feelings to my child. Like, will they even understand it? Is it too early? And that helped me actually design my marketing strategy around it. Because we've been through research and I have my own experience of working with the early years. And I kept telling parents, like, they are little, but they have big feelings. They have really big feelings. And I can always use an anecdote from my past experience to kind of support any statement that I was speaking. And I think so far the response has been great for the product. Most of my clients are parents who are buying it for their children. And they always come back to me with amazing, very, very kind words. These lovely pictures that they send of how they've displayed it in their child's room. In fact, I had few parents who came back to me saying, we want to buy this for all of the children in our extended family. And, they've ordered like 5 boxes, 6 boxes, we're just sending it to them. It's been a great gifting item for
Yeah,
people.
when I saw your product as well, I was quickly trying to think of who I knew, with young kids that I could buy this for. It's really, really beautiful. So, is it a fairly new product? When did you develop this?
So I launched this product in October last year. So it's not even been a year.
Okay, that's amazing because so since it's so new, maybe my next question is not worth it. I was going to say, what plans for the future what do you have next up your sleeve?
Hindi, I'm launching it for
Oh,
pre-order.
that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I think, do you want to do it like in all the languages as well, slowly, if you can?
Yes, absolutely. And I go through the whole design process for each language only because I want to I want to bring out all the nuances of every language. So it's Hindi, all 49 letters. I've started working on Telugu as well, again, all 49 to
Oh,
50
wow.
letters.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that it'll be different for each language. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's tiring. It definitely
Yeah.
takes longer. It's more expensive.
Ah,
Um, because there's illustration cost, production cost, all of that. Yeah,
correct. Yeah. But I'm sure it's going to be so fulfilling in the years
very.
to come. Yeah. So because I bought your product for our schools, I do know that you offer a training program as well. Would you like to tell us a little more about that training program that you do for the teachers?
The training program that I do with teachers is essentially helping them channel their human selves, right? So we always say, okay, no, I'm a teacher, and I've done that too as a teacher before. I'm a teacher. I need to kind of pull it together, and I need to have this teacher mode on when I'm in front of my students. But what I encourage teachers to do is also like you take the human part of you is also going inside. And we have, like, you see all those reflective questions on the back of the cards. They are essentially conversation starters. So if you are asking children, if you are inviting children to share, what helps you be brave, you've got to give them some examples from your own life. And how comfortable are you doing that? So we
Okay.
go through that whole process. How do you show curiosity in your life? Unless you channel the human self in you, you won't be able to bring that out in children as well. So, which is why we say that this product is going to really help build a stronger connection between teachers and students. If I always ask teachers in the beginning of my sessions, what is the one thing you love and absolutely hate about teaching? And everyone categorically will say, I hate the management, but I hate that I have to manage those behaviors. They don't listen sometimes. They're very naughty, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you try this? This will help you connect with them on a human level, where you will see the student also as a human being who will go through different emotions, who is also coming from a home which may have a very different family dynamic, a very different environment. So how can we, make use of those experiences and actually strengthen your bond with them? And when your bond is strong, you will automatically realize that those behaviors quickly go away and they become more manageable. Although I don't like the word manage behaviors, but
Manageable, yeah. Yeah. That's wonderful. And I think it's so important for teachers also to understand that, this bond can be built. Like they don't have to look at it as just like managing behaviors as such, but building that bond. And I think it sounds like a lot of empathy, right? You
a lot of empathy,
Mm.
lots of compassion. You'll be able to understand each child's needs better. So when you see a child struggling, you will know how to respond to that child
Yeah.
because you have a better knowledge. So research has also proven that your academic behaviors, you will see a huge rise in positive academic
I
behaviors.
get that
They're
too.
more open to listening to you, more open to following instructions and actually being motivated to learn.
Yeah. So do you have any plans? Like, I'm really sad that you have something only for the preschool, something as beautiful as this. Do you have any plans for, elementary or whatever the rest of the?
I do have plans for teenagers. So my next job
Ah,
would also be teenagers.
very
So
nice.
so I've already in fact started doing that. So don't know if I don't know what format it's going to be, but essentially what we've started doing is we've started asking people, why don't you send in a letter to your teenage self? What would you tell your teenage self
I
if you had
think
to
I
write a
saw
letter?
this somewhere. Did you post this on LinkedIn or
I
something?
posted it. Yes,
Yes,
I
yes, yes,
posted on LinkedIn.
yes. It
So
sounded
we're gonna take all of those responses. We had some beautiful letters coming in, some
ah,
absolutely amazing letters. So we're gonna extract themes from all the letters that we receive. We're gonna interview teenagers of today. We're gonna interview high school counselors and come up with probably a journal for
very
teenagers,
nice. Very, very
which
nice.
goes beyond gratitude, it goes beyond happiness, it goes beyond all of that, because how long will you keep doing gratitude journal? It does get monotonous
That's
after it.
true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, these days everything's about gratitude. Also, I
I
believe.
know.
Oh, so all the best with that, Rishi. That's really sounds amazing. I really wanted to do that activity, but I think when I saw it, I was a bit busy, and then I thought I'd come back to it, but I didn't. But
Still
anyway,
have time.
oh, I can still do it. Okay, I'll do it then. So when you say
It's
we, like you were talking about, we are doing this. Do you have a team that's working with you?
I don't have a team. I am in the process of onboarding a co-founder.
Okay, nice.
And a lovely person who may join me as a co-founder. We are actually taking this whole um, the the dictionary of feelings that we are building with all the languages. We're actually taking that whole concept and building an app,
Oh,
a
beautiful.
lovely interactive app with animated videos and games and different things, puzzles.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. That sounds so exciting. And for all the viewers, I'll be putting Drishti's LinkedIn, a link to her LinkedIn profile in the description box, so you can follow her to keep up with all that she's going to be doing. So before we end, Drishti, I just want to ask. I always struggle with this when someone asks me, "What is social and emotional learning?" So, in a nutshell, how would you explain what social and emotional learning is?
I look at social and emotional learning as a set of skills that we develop to live our life in a way where we have fulfilling relationships with people and ourselves. And what are those skills? Those skills can range from building empathy, compassion, conflict resolution skills, body image, the way we think about our bodies, um, and a host of like friendship skills. So we take there's a whole array of skills. So we call it skills because it's something that you can develop. It's not something that, you say, oh, either you're born with it or not. It's skills that you can always work on and develop. Always best to start as early as possible. So we start with understanding our emotions, labeling our emotions. When we know that, then we know how to manage those emotions. And how do we express those emotions? How can we regulate them? So that is the basis of everything.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much. A set of skills. I'm going to remember that, something that we can develop. Drishti, thank you so much and all the best with all that you're going to do. And I'm sure it's going to be as beautiful as the product that I have in my hands. And so I'm really excited for what is to come.
I'm excited to hear your feedback when you use it with children.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Thanks again, Drishti. And bye for now.